The Scarlet Witch has a considerable amount of expertise in dealing with the realm of superpowers during the course of her career. Wanda is the most dangerous person in the world because of her powers to alter the path that reality takes. This is true despite the fact that she started her career as a villain, then joined the Avengers, had many mental breakdowns, and learned and relearned her origin. She's also very skilled in the use of magic, which represents an additional element to the threat that she poses. The Scarlet Witch has shown that she is more than capable of taking on a broad array of foes, including some of the most powerful heroes and villains in the Marvel Universe. Among these foes are those who go by the name of the Avengers. Despite this, she is not an unbeatable champion and can be defeated. You will learn in this video how Mr. Fantastic can easily win against the Scarlet Witch, so keep watching. The powers of Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch, along with the main character Doctor Strange and Wong, plays an important role in the recently released film Doctor Strange in the Madness of the Multiverse. Since the movie was first shown to the public, followers have been more curious about the witch's dreadful past, in addition to her odd superhuman abilities. This is because, despite having a traumatic history, the witch has had a pretty gloomy lifestyle all throughout her life. Wanda Maximoff and her identical twin brother Pietro shared the experience of being born and reared in the city of Sokovia. Both of them had suffered the loss of their parents as a result of the explosions that took place in Novigrad. And as a direct consequence of this, they harbored a profound hatred for Tony Stark. Due to the fact that the twins consented to be used as test subjects for Hydra, they were able to gain abilities that are superior to those of typical people. The children devised a plan with Ultron to bring about Tony Stark's destruction so they might take revenge for the deaths of their parents. However, once they discovered what the organization was truly up to, they turned sides and joined the Avengers in destroying the mechanical enemy. Wanda was left in a state of profound grief after the war against Ultron cost Pietro's life. After that, she came to the conclusion that it would be in her best interest to remain a member of the Avengers and carry on her training with Vision and War Machine under the tutelage of Black Widow. In accordance with the plot, Wanda develops a close relationship with Vision, who then serves as her mentor following. In addition, throughout the course of the narrative, a romantic connection between the two of them becomes stronger. In Avengers Infinity War, Wanda Maximoff takes on a more significant role than she did in previous entries. Vision went to Wanda and asked her to put an end to his life so that the Mind Stone could be destroyed. This would prevent it from falling into Thanos' control and allow him to use it against the Avengers. Despite this, the Mad Titan was successful in reclaiming the stone by using the Time Stone in his quest. In the movie Avengers Endgame, she sought vengeance for the death of her lover by engaging in a fierce battle against her adversary and giving him all she had. The heroine of the web series WandaVision makes use of her supernatural skills to gain mental control over the whole town of Westview so that she may come to terms with the loss of her family. In the Marvel web series, the origins of her talents are revealed as they really transpired for the first time. Wanda's talents progress to the point that she is able to maintain her dominion over a whole society even after she has successfully revived an alternate version of Vision and given birth to twin boys Tommy and Billy. Due to the nature of her skills, which include chaos magic, the Scarlet Witch is capable of performing mind manipulation, teleportation, levitation, energy manipulation, reality warping, and reality bending. Agatha Harkness, who was Maximoff's arch-enemy, was the one who revealed the truth about her abilities. She claimed that she had been born with magical capabilities, which may have been enhanced by the impact of Loki's scepter when she was being tested by Hydra. It is also revealed that the powerful sorceress known as the Scarlet Witch really manifests herself as Wanda Maximoff, who is the major source of the Scarlet Witch's fearsome skills. The powers of Mr. Fantastic. Reed has one of the most brilliant brains that human history has ever seen in the field of science. His intellect is almost unrivaled, Dr. Doom is the only person who can completely compete with him, and he uses a wide range of scientific abilities to levels that are almost incomparable to those of humans. His scientific accomplishments are many, as are the patents he has received for developing novel goods and methods. Reed's primary superpower is his tremendous intelligence, but, in combat, he makes use of a strong stretching ability that he has refined to the point that it can reach its full extent. His skills include a near superhuman grasp of physics, starship engineering, electronics, research, mechanics, chemistry, human and superhuman biology, logic, perception, mathematics, and a great lot more. His talents in the field of spacecraft engineering are extremely excellent. He is able to operate standard and unusual motor vehicles, wield any kind of weapon, and break free of the majority of restraints and locks. In addition to all of that, he is an excellent leader in the industry, an orator and a strategist, and he has excellent social skills. Reed is widely regarded as one of the bravest and most talented individuals on the globe, and his abilities contribute significantly to his perception. Reed Richards is Nathaniel Richards' son from his first marriage to Evelyn, who lost away when she was just 7 years old. Reed appears to take more after his father in the sense that he devotes a significant amount of his time to intellectual pursuits, to the point where he frequently forgets or ignores fundamental human needs like sleeping and eating. This behavior seems to be more ingrained in Reed than in his father. Prior to enrolling at Empire State University, he had already earned a number of degrees and had a track record of being a very quick learner. There, he met both Victor Von Doom and Ben Grimm, who was his roommate at the time. Ben Grimm was the one who introduced them to one another. After graduating from high school, Reed pursued his education by enrolling in the California Institute of Technology, Harvard University, and Columbia University in that order. It was then that he met Susan Storm, the niece of his landlord, and she began to have affection for him very immediately after their first encounter. In spite of the fact that Nathaniel Richards vanished not long after Reed graduated from college and received his degree, Reed was given a bequest in the amount of $2 billion. Despite the fact that the government supplied Reed with a large amount of assistance, he chose to spend the bulk of his riches on the creation of the rocket that would one day provide him superpowers. After finding that his project was going to be scrapped, Reed, Ben, Sue, and Johnny, who is Sue's younger brother, came to the conclusion that they should put the rocket through its paces on their own. They were then exposed to a random radiation storm once they were in space, which first defeated the shielding and then proceeded to expose the crew to radiation. Reed's body became far more flexible and elastic, giving him the power to mold himself into almost any form he can think of, maintaining, of course, a similar degree of mass. Reed is one of the most clever people who have ever lived, and he thinks that his mind was enhanced by exposure to cosmic rays, which led to this metamorphosis. This transformation caused him to become one of the most intelligent people who have ever lived. When Reed eventually put together what had occurred during their journey through space, he named himself Mr. Fantastic, and together with his crew, he founded the Fantastic Four. The Fantastic Four! Reed wed Susan Storm, who at the time was known as the Invisible Girl. This took place several years after the Fantastic Four first got together to fight crime. As is the case with many marriages, it has had its fair share of difficulties, most of which can be traced back to Reed's intense focus on his professional life. Reed and Sue have, despite this fact, never been able to keep their distance from one another. The couple was only able to have one child together, and that was Franklin. Unfortunately, their other child did not survive. In one of the potential futures, Rachel Summers, daughter of Cyclops and Marvel Girl, gives birth to a child named Franklin, who grows up to become the almost all-powerful Hyperstorm. As a precautionary action that Hyperstorm took to spare Reed's own life, he was sent to an unspecified point in Earth's distant past. Reed was finally spared, but the incident left him with self-doubt and ambivalence about his behavior until Onslaught placed his kid's life in peril. Reed's sense of self-worth was restored, and he made significant contributions to the team's successful defense against the danger. Reed did not waste any time after his return from the Franklinverse in starting to work on repairing the financial status of his club. Recently, he agreed to take a post at SEU as a graduate lecturer, and ever since then he has been ceaselessly toiling away at the creation and preservation of original innovations. How can Mr. Fantastic defeat the Scarlet Witch? The Scarlet Witch's power is limited because she would have been able to win the battle against the Illuminati far more swiftly if she could really manipulate reality to do as she would. Wanda is vulnerable in close quarters fighting, something Mr. Fantastic excels at. And this is one of Mr. Fantastic's strengths. Both Captain Marvel and Captain Carter were able to land a few punches on the Scarlet Witch before they were defeated by her, and the reason for this is that they were able to approach close enough to her to do so. It is likely that Mr. Fantastic will have the most success if he engages the Scarlet Witch in a confrontation at a close range. Mr. Fantastic has a greater chance of success than Captain Marvel's photon blasts do of breaking past the Scarlet Witch's power barrier, which means that Mr. Fantastic can really win. So, given the battle occurred on neutral ground, and since all they possessed was their powers/weapons, it is quite plausible that Mr. Fantastic may be the one who can overcome the Scarlet Witch. Leave a comment on what you think the outcome of the battle between Mr. Fantastic and the Scarlet Witch would be. Click the like button if you'd like to see more videos just like the one you're watching now. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'll be waiting for you in the next video.